I want to share a real life example of the mental load of motherhood because I think in today's society where dads are more and more involved in parenting, which is amazing, there is still this kind of disconnect between what women are talking about when we talk about the mental load and what men are hearing or recognizing, right? Because I think for so long, men have thought like, okay, I need to show up. I need to be hands on. I need to change the diapers. I need to go to the soccer game. Like, I need to do those things in order to be a good dad. But they have not taken the time to understand the invisible labor and the mental load associated with all the things that have to do with kids, right? And women tend to take all of that on from a very early stage in motherhood. And I think a really good example of this is birthday parties, for example, right? I was talking to this mom and she was away for the weekend and her husband had the kids and he was taking them to the birthday party, right? He like took them to soccer practice. He was doing all of the things. He's a good dad. He's a hands-on dad and he's always doing these things. But he called her several times while she was away with her friends because he couldn't find the birthday present and he didn't know where the birthday cards were. And she proceeded to tell him where all these things were, right? But he kept calling and he's like, okay, you said they're in the basement, but where in the basement? And she's like, they're in the box titled bags and gift cards, right? And so she has always been responsible for adding the birthday party to the calendar, buying the present, wrapping the present, having the birthday card, right? Like these are all the things that go along with taking kids to the birthday party. That is the mental load of motherhood that we're often talking about. It is not just cooking dinner. It's buying the groceries, meal planning, know which vegetables go well with the meat, knowing what your kid's gonna eat. The mental load isn't the task. It's not the task itself. It's all the things that lead up to the task. Taking your kids to a birthday party is one part of it. But if you didn't have to do any of the work, like RSVPing, buying the gift, knowing where the birthday cards are, then you didn't carry the mental load of that activity, right? And it's not to say he's not a good dad or not an active dad, but oftentimes women are in this position where they're saying, I'm still mentally exhausted. I am still responsible for knowing everything, doing everything, delegating everything. And my partner's so hands-on and always active and participating and present, but they don't carry the mental load, right? I have to tell them what to cook for dinner. They'll cook it, but I have to tell them. And that is just as exhausting as having to do everything by yourself. And so I encourage you, if you are a dad, to have these conversations with your partner. Understand the invisible labor and work that goes into all of these things, because that in itself is a lot. If you've raised your hand to be a part of your home and say, like, I'm doing dinner every night, then you should also know what food you have. You should be meal planning. You should probably be adding these things to the grocery list. It is okay to have different divisions of labor in your house, but to leave one person carrying the mental load by themselves is a lot of work and it can be exhausting. And there is mental load associated with pretty much everything, right? It's knowing that when you've emptied the diaper pail that you are running low on the refills for the diaper pail. Like that is the mental load. Are you adding it to the Amazon cart? Do you even know which ones they are? That is the mental load. We're looking for dads, not just to be better than their dads were, but to be on the same level as moms and to participate in the same way and to carry that mental load.